I'm going to try something a little different tonight. I'm going to do a challenge run of Sonic the Hedgehog playing on the 2013 remake, which was originally for Android and iOS. I previously played and beat Sonic on stream on my original Genesis. It was sat right behind me. I still got Sonic here for moral support. So I'm going to try to go for all Chaos Emeralds. And I am not like some elite god gamer or something. I've never actually completed a run of this, but I have been practicing. And I've got some like tips and advice of things that helped me. So this might also be like a light tutorial of at least some stuff that worked for me. So I'm going to start out talking about the technology a little bit of what version of the game we're playing. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about how we're going to approach getting the Chaos Emeralds and some tricks. And then I'm going to get into the run. I think the first half of the run is going to be very intense as I'm trying to get into the special stages and then beat each of the special stages. And then the back half of the run is honestly probably going to be boring. It's just going to be like a regular Sonic run, but you've got to finish it out in order to say that you've beaten the game with all the Chaos Emeralds, right? Okay, so this is the 2013 remake. It is a full remake. It looks and plays like a remaster, and I think it kind of aspired to be a remaster. But it's in a totally new game engine called the Retro Engine by this guy named Christian Whitehead. And he rebuilt the whole game from the ground up, which lets you do neat things like the resolution can change now, can be wider screen. It runs in 60 frames per second instead of 30 frames per second. And it's got like an overriding different pause menu, which is necessary for when you're playing on mobile devices, because the app on a mobile device can get interrupted at any point, and we are going to take advantage of that. But I am not playing on an Android device at the moment. I'm actually playing on my PC because there is a fan effort over the past year or so to decompile the engine code. So you can ethically, morally play this on PC now because they do not distribute the actual game with the engine code. You have to purchase a legal copy of the game, which I did on my Android tablet, which is in the other room. It's $2. It's actually free to play with ads, or it's $2 to take the ads away, which is just like an unbelievable price for what is the absolute best version of Sonic the Hedgehog that has ever been released. I thought about playing on my phone on stream, but my phone is kind of a long boy. He's an oddball wide resolution, and I wanted to play in like regular 1080p. And I also have a USB Sega Genesis controller that is plugged into my computer that I'm going to play with, just for ambiance and the right touch feel on the D-pad and everything, since that's what I've always played. If you are going to play on a mobile device, the biggest advice I have for you is figure out a way to use a controller, because there are touchscreen controls where like your thumbs are just kind of floating around on the screen. That is awful. Like, maybe somebody can get good at that if they practice enough, but that's not me. I'm terrible with that. Those touch controls, not doing it for me. And actually, remember that most phones and tablets have Bluetooth connections. So if you have, like, for instance, a DualShock 4 controller, this is a Bluetooth controller. You can hook this up to your phone easy. And I think the modern Xbox controllers are the same way. So even if you don't have like a port adapter to be able to plug it in directly, usually Bluetooth will be pretty good. You might get like a frame or two of lag, but I played some on the DualShock 4 on my tablet when I was first trying out this version, and it worked great. I had no problems. So, the Chaos Emeralds. There are 6 in this game, not 7 like in Sonic 2. And you don't get anything for getting all of them, except, bragging rights. And presumably a different ending screen, because the regular ending screen is Robotnik juggling however many Chaos Emeralds you didn't get and saying, try again. So we want to shut up his smug face. You have an opportunity to get a Chaos Emerald by beating a special stage, and you get into the special stage by collecting 50 rings and having them at the end of the stage and jumping into a big floating ring in the sky, and you have to do that on a stage that does not end in a boss fight. So the way this game is structured is there are 6 zones, and each zone has 3 acts, and the third act is always a boss fight. So the zones are going to go like, Zone 1, try to get a Chaos Emerald. Zone 2, try to get a Chaos Emerald. Zone 3, just do the boss fight. Then move on to the next zone. So doing that... the screen actually went to sleep. So doing that, we will get all 6 Chaos Emeralds, hopefully, in the first 3 zones. That's why it's the first half of the game. And then the back half of the game, we will just be playing the game. We're going to make liberal use of the restart function in the game. So if we're in a level and we have 50 coins, but we like lose all of them, coins, I mean rings. I'm going to say coins at least one more time. If we lose all of our rings right before the end of the level, we're just going to restart the level. Because if we're really going for all Chaos Emeralds, we're going to be willing to burn lives in order to get tries over and over again. Because one of the problems for me trying to learn how to beat the special stages in the original game is it's just so hard to practice. Like, you have to play through the level, get the setup all right, and then you get one attempt. And half the time you just have a bad start and fall straight onto a goal and don't even really get time to practice. Also, we're going to be more willing to burn lives because as we go through the special stages, as you get better at them and you can last longer in the stage, if you get pretty good and you get a decent run, you'll gain an extra life while you're playing the special stage. So after that, if you restart, you're just losing the life that you just got for being in the stage. And also, once you start beating stages, you start getting continues, which is going to help later on in the game just to beat it regularly, even if you're like, you know, you've run yourself down to like 2 lives or something and have to beat the final boss with that. All right, that's enough talking. I set this to the Mega Drive scheme. You can actually, in this port, you can pick whether you want US, EU, or Japanese box art. But I think the EU art is pretty classy. Mine is obviously US, I'm American. So, here's my practice slot. I got all the way to the final zone, but I did not beat the final boss. But I was able to get all the 6 Chaos Emeralds. Let's try it on no save mode. There we go. Okay. You have to be on no save mode. And then on the title screen, you can hit up, down, left, right. And you get this options menu. So I wanted to turn spin dash off, ground speed cap on, air speed cap on, Sonic 1 spikes on. That one's rough. This is a bug that was in the original game where if you fall onto spikes, you do not get the iframes you're supposed to get. So if you fall into spikes, you like hit the spikes, lose all your rings, hit the spikes again, and die. And it's like instant death. But for me, I wanted to play it on as close to the original difficulty of the original game as I could. I was practicing like this. I didn't realize that you had to have this version of the game in no save mode in order to access this menu to set these things up. All right, here we go. Green Hill Zone. So 50 rings and then across the finish line. Off to a bad start. Let's get these. Okay, so we're good on rings. Now, I've got a shield, which is excellent, and I'm going to play basically just very conservatively to get to the finish line. If I can get 100, that's like a bonus just to build up lives for more attempts, but it's totally not necessary. And you do have to jump into the ring because it'll disappear, or if you like travel too far to the right, like this auto run will take over and will like run you off the edge of the screen. I'm going to pause as soon as it starts. Okay, so this is one of our secret weapons. So in the mobile port, like I said before, it has to be able to pause the entire game at any time. So we can pause voluntarily as long as we have control of Sonic. So we can pause and restart if it looks like it's going poorly. It costs 1 life, but it's worth it if only just to have repeated attempts to practice. Now, if we miss pausing, so, if we're falling out of control towards a goal and we try to pause, but we're a split second too late and we hit the goal, the screen does this like you're spinning out of the special stage animation where the whole screen starts rotating really fast and then starts turning white. At that moment, if on your Android or iOS device you hit a home button or the back button or the all apps button, it's going to do this like overriding pause on the application, and when you come back to it, it's going to look like this. So even when you're not supposed to be able to pause, you can pause it if you use like the overriding system functions on your phone. So it's nice to have one that has like a physical home button or a physical back button that you can hit it really fast. Probably you're going to be like lunging forward as the screen is spinning and you're about to be bumped out of the stage. On the PC version that I'm playing on, you can actually do that just by making the window lose focus. So if I hit a goal line, I will be lunging for the mouse and trying to click off of the window as fast as possible. Now, the other secret weapon we have is you can go look up maps of these stages. I will put a link down in the description when I upload this to YouTube. So we can plan ahead where we're going to go. So you see we're going to fall down here, and then these transparent peppermints usually are a barrier into the final room of the special stage, and once you pass through them, they'll become solid and you won't be able to exit it again. So our goal is to kind of like fall down and hug Sonic's right and then get through the transparent peppermints, and then we'll bounce around in here and try to avoid the goals. All right, attempt number 1. I guess I should talk about the basics too. The R's reverse the rotation direction. The peppermints that say up or down will increase or decrease the rotation speed, but I think there are only 2 settings. I think it's either like it's going fast or it's going slow. You can't repeatedly hit slow down buttons to get it to a standstill or anything. Nope. Okay, just barely. These crystals, you have to rub Sonic on them repeatedly. And eventually you break through them. No, that was so close. That's fine. 1! That's 1! Alright. No restart so far, which is good, because at the beginning you don't have many lives. At this point, if I miss this one, I probably just reset. The other really nice thing about this version of the game is that with all the rotation in the special stages, the game is running at 60 FPS, which doesn't make it easier exactly, but it does make it less unpleasant to look at it. Because looking at it on the Genesis, it can kind of be like a slideshow sometimes. The way you can see the sprite rotate, especially at the edges of the screen, is just real bad. Also, you have a little more peripheral vision. Presuming the game is running on a wide device, you get a little more vision around the sides. Unfortunately, where you really need it is below you, like wherever Sonic is falling is the most important place to be looking, but it still doesn't hurt. Don't go too out of control. I have spun past that before, where when you come out of that chute, you can be going so fast that you just fly past it, and the auto run takes over, and you cannot get into the ring. Alright, pause for research. So that one's done. Let's just close it. Oh, I should put on stream. This is Zone 0. They're actually maps of every single level in the game. So if you wanted to look at alternate paths or there are like shortcuts listed in here, that is also very useful. All right, stage 2. This is kind of a snake with an arena at the end. So we want to go Sonic's left and then hug right to get down. Okay, this is a complicated one to hold in your head. If I get lost again, I'll just pause and refer back to the map. So Sonic's left is up, upright. Now we're gonna hug down here. Perfect. Now, where are the goals in this last room? I need to know where to avoid. Okay, there's only one and it's all the way at the bottom. I think I'm at kind of the bottom left, so the goal is probably below me and to the right. So let's try to avoid that direction. Yeah, this side is going to be a lot safer if we can get up into it. And if you're like waiting for it to turn, like collect rings. You'll get a life eventually, you know. There you go. So now if I mess up this run, the restart is kind of paid for. We'll break even anyway. There we go. Get in there, Sonic! Get in there, Sonic! Alright, 2. I'm gonna need those continues when I keep drowning in Labyrinth Zone. Okay, so this is Zone 3, or excuse me, Act 3 of Zone 1. That means this is all boss, so we don't really have to worry about rings. But still, the easiest levels to get lots of rings in are the easiest levels, so... if it seems possible, go ahead and get 100, get an extra life. The speed shoes always feel like a trap to me, because I'm just so much more likely to die or lose all my rings, and I'm never going for, like, time trials or anything. Sometimes there are areas you can access if you're going fast with the speed shoes. $95. There we go. This game removes the bug where you can hit him before his ball and chain is deployed. I tend to take it really slow and safe on the bosses because as long as you're super patient, they're all very easy. Up to maybe the last one, which a lot of which is hard just because you don't have any rings, so you die in one hit. Alright, that's one zone, 2 emeralds. Ooh, that was close. Okay, and just like that, we are good on rings. Now we just have to keep them. Aw, so close to 100. Oh well. All right. That one's done. We're now on the 3rd special stage. This is just kind of a big arena. Alright, so don't fall into the holes at the edge. If I fall towards the emerald and try to get through the crystals on what is oriented to the top right here, I mean, that's the safest because it's the furthest from the goals, but there's nothing to bounce back to get up there as the stage rotates. The other sides are probably easier in that sense. Alright, let's see what we can do. There are definitely lots of rings, so hopefully we can get an extra life along the way. Nope. Okay, this is the situation. I'm falling towards the goal. I don't think there's a way out of it. Restart. Yep. Nope. Very bad. Alright, I clicked away. When I click back, I click restart. We go again. That was good. That dang bumper is right in the way. Hit it down, please. Thank you. Let's see if we can fall through the middle here a little bit. Kinda. I'm like climbing up the R's to get up there. Yeah, I think it's going to be easier to go from one of the other directions. Didn't really want to hit that, actually. That's fine. Nope. We go again. Here we go. If only it were going a little slower. There we go. There we go. Unfortunately, I've chewed away the corners and not the middle. Ooh. That was close. Nope. Nope. Oh, the darn bumpers, man. The darn bumpers, man. Go. Go, Sonic. Get in there, Sonic. It's open. It's open. Just get to it. Yes! There we go. Look, anybody can do anything if they have enough tries. Eventually, sheer dumb luck will pull through for you. Alright. Back on Ring Watch. What am I at? 2 lives. Alright, here we go. Oh no! Hopefully there's still enough rings to finish. If not, I'll just restart towards the end of the level. I think that there is a secret for an extra life coming up, so then that would at least pay for this run. There we go. Now, when you get that, you have to ride this block all the way back, but they do have mercy on you, and it moves a little faster than the regular one. 43. Are there 7 rings over here? Okay, we're good. There we go. Hit it. And then go slow again, because the invincibility is not invincible against being crushed by spikes. Oh no. Thought we were going under it again. Alright, this is going to be the 4th Chaos Emerald. Let's see what we're dealing with. You are beat. Alright. This one is kind of a long snake with a head at the end. And we'll just have to make sure we take the right turns. Oh, look. At the bottom right, there's actually an arrow made out of rings pointing you in the right direction. So yeah. We're going to fall through a long section first that looks pretty safe. And then we're going to want to go right, and then left, straight, left. This one's going to be more remembering directions than anything else. I am ready to click off the window as soon as I need to. Which way did I say? I've forgotten. Go right. Go right. Which way is right? I've completely lost it. Okay, right. So, left on screen. There we go. Follow the arrow. Avoid that. That's fine. We can chill. Follow the arrow again. Oh, look at those bouncers we're going to have to get past. So we probably want to, like, fall straight through the middle. There we go. Alright, we're into the final room. There we go. Just let me in there. No, after all that! After all that! Oh no. Alright, that's okay. We go again. Follow the arrow. Don't take the side path. Don't fall in. Follow the arrow again. Oh, I was spinning way too fast for a minute there. Nope. At least we're getting back lives as we go. This one is pretty gentle at first, I think. It's fine, follow the arrow. Don't take the branch. Follow the arrow. That's it. Get in there, Sonic. Yes! There we go! How would you do this on original hardware? How would you do it without restarts like that? Oh, this one's neat because there are two branches, there are two paths. You can take one step down the right path and get 10 rings and then just come back and do the left path instead. In this case, I'm not sure if one is easier or better than the other one. I usually go this way, so I'm used to it, but... Wait for the worm. You can also play the Nintendo Switch port of this game, which is not this remake, so it doesn't have a lot of the enhancements, but it's a totally good port of it. I mean, it's really just like a ROM running in an emulator. But they also have save states, so you can also retry the special stages that way if you're playing on the Switch version. I think this is the one with the shortcut. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. These last few jumps are worth taking some extra time on, because if you miss one, it's a long fall straight into lava. Oh! Oh well, this is just a boss level at this point. Let's go. Alright, back on rings. This is for the 5th emerald. If I'm counting right. Oh, I keep missing the cycle. There we go. Okay. There we go. Just gotta hold on to him. Those are not worth it, I don't think. Okay. And we're in. See what we're up against. That one we have done. Looks like another snake. This one with fewer directions. There aren't arrows made out of rings to help us. Okay, so it's kind of a long fall, but then we're going to go right, left, left, and into the final room. And they're kind of less forks and more like the goals are in side branches. So as long as we stick to what kind of looks like the main wider corridor, we ought to be okay. So, to the left there is an exit. We do not want to go that way. Nope. Nope. Yep, at least give me rings. Okay. Now we want to go left, left. So not that way. Final room, okay. Just avoid those little side branches. The ones that I'm looking at right now. This is a dangerous spot to be. Let's get away from there. Yeah, this is just fine. This slow rotation, I'll take that. Let's go. Nope. There we go. All right. First try, number 5. Oh, that's a shame. Alright, we're probably looking at a restart at this point. This one tries to trick you with the invincibility and make you think you need to run really fast. But if you stop and go down this column, there's a really nice long cut through the rest of the level. I just don't know if we'll get up to 50 rings or not. See, that arrow is lying to you. You want to go down here. Oh, 74. Okay, we are good. After all that. Oh. All right, here we go, number 6. What are we doing? All right, that one's done. We have kind of just a big round arena. All right. Goals in the corners, so stay out of the corners, I guess. Oh, that's a nice start. Look. Alright, I kind of don't want to lose the outer row, because those are good to bounce off of. Look at that! That's all 6. Sonic got them all. Alright, so now we just gotta beat this game, which is easier said than done. It's still not like an easy game. We're not even to Labyrinth yet. Almost. There we go. Ooh, don't go back in again. You can outrun this block and get a shortcut. Here. Okay, okay. I thought we were going down a bottomless pit there. Don't get crushed, hit that checkpoint. All right. You see the bumpers at the sides of the arena are new to this remake. Basically, so it doesn't get easier the wider screen you have. Which is kind of too bad. It'd be silly and fun to like try to find the widest phone you can find just for advantages in boss fights. Alright, this is the midpoint of the run. I'm going to take a quick intermission, especially to reset my patience before Labyrinth Zone. This is the worst zone. I'll be back in just a minute. And we're back. Alright. Keep all your patience intact. We did all the emeralds. You don't gotta be stressed. Just take it slow. You know how Labyrinth goes. I know a couple of shortcuts to make it slightly less bad. We don't have to worry about rings. Just gotta keep your one safety ring. We got little emperor penguins and white seals. Gonna breathe at every opportunity. Alright, I think there's a secret here, if I'm remembering right. If you can hit a floating platform right here, and get off of it in time to go back up. I may have needed to hit a button down there. There's a way to summon a platform that'll carry you across this lake. But I think you have to hit this button first and then hit the platform that floats up, so I think we've missed it. I feel like I'm holding my breath whenever Sonic has to hold his breath. Let's wait for air. Oh! Ooh, he's angry. Let's go. Alright, I know this thing is gonna shoot at me. Dang it! I even knew it! That's okay, safety ring, safety ring. Nope. Grab a safety ring. Nope! There we go. I absolutely love the Sega Genesis synthesizer, but the actual sound chips in the Genesis consoles were not always great, and they kind of varied over time with different models of the Genesis. This version of Sonic has like perfect replication of the synth and like full robust sound, so it sounds like a perfect Sega Genesis. Like a Sega that has never existed before. Oh no. Yep. It's all fine. I really want that shield. There we go. Oof. Alright. Go fast. At least it got us past that guy. And this one? Yes! Okay, we are definitely going to wait for air. Oh no. Alright, we gotta dodge these. I can never get over two of them at once, but I always feel like I can. Let's air. Ooh, that one like slid me sideways. I did not like that. Okay. Oh, I wasn't even looking for that score thing. I'm gonna go loop one more time, because I missed the ledge that gives you a shield, and the shield is gonna be useful. Nope. One more. There we go. Oh, that's neat. Look, you can see the waterfall, like, falling underwater, I guess? Waterfalls don't usually fall underwater. Not the same way they fell above water, but, it looks cool. Oh, I should have stopped for air. Yeah, this is gonna be bad. I need a bubble this moment. Boom! Gonna have drowning nightmares. Whatever. Safety ring. Nope. The climb at the end of this level is brutal. And we're not even to it yet. Whatever, grab a ring, keep going. You really want to do it the first time, because there are no rings between the last checkpoint and that climb. So if you die the first time, you have to do it again. And you have a shield, I think, but you do not have rings in addition. If you do it the first time, you've got rings and a shield, and it's a lot easier. I mean, it's doable. It's just hard. But now we get rewarded with my favorite track in the game. Done with Labyrinth. There's an extra life if you want to backtrack for it. I jumped right into him. I should probably just let this fireball go by and not pace it the rest of the level. Oh, come on. How do I get down here? There it is. The last time I played this game on stream, I didn't do any of the special stages because they're hard and I hadn't practiced them and I didn't want to. But I think I unintentionally made it harder for myself because you can get so many lives in the special stages, even if you don't beat them. If you just put in a good showing, and then if you start beating them, you get continues like crazy. So like in this run, even with all the special stage resetting and stuff, I have way more lives than I did on my casual playthrough, where I was just kind of going to finish the game. Oh, it's a sucker fan. I just totally missed that. Couldn't get it in time. How would you do that? I guess you'd have to run on that little ledge right at the edge, and then roll up into a ball to hit that. There we go. Jeez. Yeah, I knew that was coming. This stage always goes by too fast for me. This zone is treacherous. Can you imagine trying to get 50 rings reliably in here to do a special stage? Oop. Fourteen lives. Oh, I wasn't even looking there. Nope. Give me a ring. Yeah. It's a mean zone, man. It's just mean. Why you gotta be like this, Scrap Brain? Alright, well at least we're done with it because Scrap Brain 3 is secretly Labyrinth 4. There is a shortcut, though. If you can outrun this little block that we're about to trigger, and fall down here, and then you're going to want to hug right. Give me that ring. Oh, come on. What is this? There we go. Oh. There we go. This one just takes supreme patience. That's one. We're gonna count them. Because otherwise, you don't feel like you're making any progress. 2. We gotta hit them 8 times. Three. Four. I will wait as long as it takes. Five. Six. Seven. 8. Now, I've done this before too. Do not outrun him, because you can fall off the end of this ledge. He's got him! Look at that! We got balloon flowers? We got balloon flowers! That's it. That's all you get. Yeah, because these credits are the same. That's why we did all that practice on all those special stages. Well, that's it. I think I'm probably done with Sonic 1. I know I said that last time I played this on stream. I played it casually on Genesis, and then said I'm done with Sonic 1 because I don't like special stages. Now I've played the remake of Sonic 1, and gotten the good ending. As far as the original game goes, that's all there is to do. Now, on this version, they add in Tails and Knuckles as playable characters, which they were not in the original, so you could play them also as Tails and Knuckles, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to call the original game beat, completed, 100%ed, no other challenges. Meaning my next Sonic stream really will be Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and I will probably play it on the Genesis. Start out with a casual playthrough on original hardware, and then maybe I'll play the Sonic 2 remake and try to get all those special stages, which is another thing that I've never done, even though I had these games when I was a kid. And I could beat them when I was a kid. I could beat Sonic 2 first, because Sonic 2 is, I think, easier than Sonic 1. But I never got all the Chaos Emeralds. Not even close. That's right. That's right. All right, well, this is the end. Thank you very much for watching. Good night.